Assalamu alaikum. A very warm welcome to the beginning of yet another fabulous evening here live. Here at the big Ramadan show. I cannot wait until what is going to be coming up shortly on the show.
That's right. And today we've got a few segments joining us. We've got our guest waiting eagerly to talk to us about his travel journeys. And now that you all know travel restrictions that were imposed due to the lockdown, now they have gradually eased all the travel buffs all over the world.
Wow. This, of course, is a window of opportunity for those of us wishing to enjoy our Ramadan with a break to a beautiful destination. Joining us tonight to discuss a very popular tourist destination, Indonesia, and what we can expect there, a very warm welcome to our one and only travel expert, Ufuk Secgin. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine.
This is your second appearance this Ramadan?
That's right, yeah, last week I was here.
Are you here to tell us all about the easing of restrictions and how we can actually hopefully travel to Indonesia?
Inshallah. Yes, inshallah, yeah.
Yeah. I can't,
By bike.
By bike.
Meaning good in Indonesian. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Is that what you say?
Bike.
Bike.
Come
I
on
thought
a
you
bike.
meant
I'm
travel
fine.
by bike.
I'm fine.
That's
Come
what
on a
I
bike.
thought for a sec. I thought,
I'm
wow.
fine. Oh, by bike.
Wouldn't that be a great challenge just to get off the plane?
Absolutely. What is the weather like in Indonesia at the moment?
It's pretty much, it's very simple. It's always 30, 32 degrees throughout the year, more or less, anywhere in Indonesia. So you don't really need to look at the weather forecast. There is obviously the rain season, but even during the rain season, it's half an hour of rain, and then it dries up, and then it's all sunshine again.
So is it what, humid type weather?
It's humid, yes, it is humid. But it's, it's pleasant. It's not too hot. I think 30, 32 is quite okay-ish.
Yeah, it's absolutely perfect. Something that I'm dreaming of at the moment, because at the moment it's 13 degrees here in London. I think it is.
There's a huge contrast, to say the least.
It's huge. What would you consider as a must-know for anybody who's travelling out in Indonesia?
I mean, Indonesia, I think, first of all, it is the largest Muslim-populated country in the world. It's got about 270 million population. 90% of that is Muslim. It is the country with the highest number of islands, 17,000 islands. So it's a huge number of islands.
Did I just hear that right? 17,000 islands.
Yes.
Incredible.
And apart from the main language, Bahasa, Indonesia, they speak about 700 other languages.
Wow.
And you can divide the nation into about 1,300 ethnic groups. So it's you know, whilst we look at them as Indonesians, there's a lot of different type of Indonesians, so to say.
Oh, God.
Do you not think that's impressive? Wow,
from
incredible,
Aceh
right?
in the west, you know, in the Sumatra, where the tsunami happened, to the very east, with West Papua, where people look very different, like Aborigines. So it's very diverse country, very diverse.
So, I mean, are there any special Ramadan traditions, or, you know, what are they doing this Ramadan in Indonesia?
It can become quite noisy during the evening, just before iftar time, because kids usually they throw firecrackers. So that's one of the traditions. And also you see...
Is that to wake everyone up for sahur?
Yeah, so it's for iftar. It's for iftar.
Okay.
So basically preparing when that iftar is coming. And also you see all these taxil sellers on the street sellers who offer these small sweet dishes. They call them taxil. And, you know, you've got variety of them, from pisang goreng, which is like fried bananas, over kolak, which is like a sweet soup, which has got lots of fruits inside as well, you know, from bananas over pumpkins, etc., palm sugar, vanilla, etc. So it's very sweet, but it was very nice after a long, hot day, you know, to have this starter as a starter. Also, timun suri is also is an iced drink, but also, again, very sweet and, you know, with juicy fruits. And it comes from the fruit called timun suri, which is mainly produced just for Ramadan period. Okay. It's similar like a melon, Very nice, very sweet, very cold, and also
Healthy
nice.
too?
Yeah, I would say it's probably lots of fructose inside. But
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously the images that were just appearing up on our screen, and it just looked absolutely divine. But what are the like main dishes do you then like eat during iftar
I mean,
time?
there's dozens, but I would say nasi goreng is like the national dish. It's like the Asian fried rice version, the Indonesian version of it.
We're just looking at the pictures there.
yeah.
And it looks exquisite. Wow.
Yeah, it is quite delicious. Obviously, another one is ayam goreng, which is like the Indonesian fried chicken version of Kentucky Fried Chicken, I would say. You know? So it's, I think the chef will cook it later on as well. And then we've got mie ayam. Mie ayam is also noodles with the chicken. Basically, that's the basic description of it. But it's the main thing is not really the sauce, but it's the al dente noodles. You know, to cook the noodles to that perfect taste, basically.
Yeah.
Wow. So all of that is delicious.
Yeah.
But can we talk about the dessert? Because that's what I'm mostly looking forward to.
I mean, desserts. I don't know many of the desserts. I would say esteller is one of the desserts I like when I'm there. So because it's ice mixed with different fruits, and it's it's very cold, obviously, but also sweet and really refreshing. So that's my favorite Indonesian dessert dish, I would say. Yeah.
God, this sounds so divine and
so
so
tempting.
really
And there are lots of
healthy.
other like seafood dishes. I mean, the way they prepare, if you go to restaurants, the way they prepare the seafood is just amazing. It's like a piece of art. You don't want to really eat it. And
just wanna
obviously
see
they
it.
have so many different type of seafood there, which we don't have here in the UK. It's just delicious. You know, just
I'm guessing it's all fresh.
all
right?
fresh,
That's it.
freshly, you know, from the sea. And it's just amazing.
I mean, have you ever been there during Ramadan?
During Ramadan, yes, I've been.
What's the atmosphere like over there?
It's obviously it's because it's warm. It's not easy to fast, but people go about their normal lives. You've got obviously traditional get-togethers for iftar, and I forgot the name. There's a specific expression for it, and then also Taraweehs are a big thing as well. A lot of people go to Taraweeh to the mosques.
Yeah.
Yes, it's really peaceful atmosphere, and people smile all the time in general in Indonesia. So if you go into a business meeting and you don't show your teeth, people might misinterpret it as that you are not happy.
Yeah.
So and that they think maybe you're offended or you're not happy with the negotiations. So you always have to smile basically.
Wow.
Because people are in general smiling all the time.
So it's a very happy
Fantastic.
atmosphere. I mean,
Yeah.
in contrast to everyone grumpy here with the weather.
I know. Who does? Who wants to be that anyway?
Exactly. And I was actually going to ask, where do you recommend staying in Indonesia if we want to hop on that plane ASAP?
Yes, I mean, if you go, I would recommend at least 10 days because lots to see. Jakarta is usually the place where you land, and unless you fly directly to Bali. In Jakarta, there's not really a lot to see. It has got the Grand Istiqlal Mosque, which is, I think, the biggest mosque in Southeast Asia, which hosts about 120,000 worshippers at the time. But I would personally recommend to go to Yogyakarta. It's a peaceful place, a historical place, lots to see. You know, from the Keraton. The Keraton is the palace of Yogyakarta, where the sultans of Yogyakarta used to stay in the palace. You've got from the 9th century two important temples. One is the Buddhist temple, which is the Borobudur temple. It's phenomenal. I mean, obviously we're Muslims, we're not Buddhists, we're not Hindus, but I think it's still worth to see. It's the biggest Buddhist temple in the world, it's Borobudur.
Really?
And then we also have the Prambanan, which is also a Hindu temple, also from the 9th century. So very historical buildings. You can spend hours and hours there, and you also during the evenings they have got the special lighting on the Borobudur temple, and you can have dinners there and look at the temple as well. And obviously, there's also a Dutch colonial history as well. So the Portuguese, they occupied Indonesia for centuries, and then the Dutch came as well. So in Jogja, there's also the fort called Vredeborg, which means like peace castle, Vredeborg. So it's also a historical site to see as well. And I would also recommend maybe to go to Banda Aceh, which became obviously famous because of the tsunami. You've got the main mosque there, the Baitur Rahman Mosque, which was built in 1873. And
Looks phenomenal.
rebuilt in 1879, sorry, because that was the site of the battle where the Acehnese basically pushed back the Dutch. So it was a very historical battle which took place there. They killed the major general of the Dutch army, General Köhler, and also became very famous now because of the tsunami. Because everything was, destroyed, and you've got this beautiful mosque standing up in there.
Oh, that famous image.
Yeah, and a lot of people actually rescued themselves inside the mosque and climbed up the higher grounds on the mosque. So it's a very historical place, also very, psychologically a very important place for the nation.
It usually is, isn't it, when you're going to such destinations?
And then obviously you can go to Bali.
Yeah.
You can go to the neighboring islands of Bali, which is not so well known. It's Lombok. It's more Muslim friendly. It's called the Island of Thousand Mosques as well. So everything is the same like Bali, but it is more Muslim friendly, as I said.
Look at that.
Yeah, you can do
clear
surfing,
beach. Oh,
beach,
the beach looks
sports,
amazing.
water sports, anything. Raja Ampat in east of Indonesia, it's a very pristine area. People don't know this very much. It's very expensive as well, difficult to get there. But it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful, and there's a limitation on how many people can go.
Well, that's the thing about Indonesia, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like it looks very untouched in certain places. But why is it so important for Muslims to actually go there?
I think it's amazing because Islam spread from the Arabic Peninsula as far as Indonesia, and also to see the Muslims in West Papua. It's the West Papuanese Muslims. It's a small minority, but they embraced Islam, and it was spread through the Yemeni and Omani sailors and merchants. And it's just to see. It's amazing to see the merger of Islam with this culture there. 17,000 islands,
Incredible.
1,300 ethnic groups, and it's
So much to do.
fantastic, and a very religious country as well.
It is. No, absolutely. Ufuk, we're actually unfortunately out of time.
We are out of time, but at this rate, Aisha,
amazing.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know
go to
about you.
Indonesia.
I would like to go more than 10 days. I mean, it's a never-ending
Lots
list
to
there.
do.
But
Thank you.
Halal Booking's great Ramadan giveaway, which is open exclusively to Islam Channel viewers, offers our viewers the opportunity to win cash points worth £1,000 to spend on halal-friendly accommodation booked through halalbooking.com.
The competition is open to any new member of the Halal Booking Loyalty Club who registers during Ramadan. So you have to visit halalbooking.com/Islam channel to register and enter the competition. The winner will be announced here on Islam Channel on the Big Eid show on Eid Day.
Can't wait.
I can't wait
But
either.
now it's time to head off for a quick break. Stay tuned. There's a lot more when we return.